All right, Saagar, what are you looking at?
Well, yesterday we reacted specifically to Chris Wallace's shock announcement that he's leaving Fox News for CNN's streaming platform. I thought we were done. But honestly, the more I thought about it and the more information I read about corporate media and their plans to try and compete out here in the streaming world, the more I realized that we had a lot more to say. Wallace's departure from Fox News is not just a one-on event. It is the beginning of a new war. As the Axios graph you can see in front of you shows, the number of people who are paying TV subscribers has dropped 7.3% in just the last 6 years. As the boomer audiences of cable news begin to age, the cable news networks have woken up. They're going in an all-out battle for talent in the streaming wars. Chris Wallace will join Casey Hunt at CNN Plus for live programming. But that's just the tip of the iceberg. NBC News has now hired 200 people to join its NBC News Now streaming service. And they've even launched a show with a guy named Joshua Johnson, who I've literally never heard of. Fox News, after failing miserably with Fox Nation, is adding weather programming to the online service. And CBS News is now going all in on a streamlined version of online CBS. These people are pouring billions of dollars into this war. They're giving multi-million-dollar contracts out before they've even launched. There's just one problem. Why would anyone pay for literally any of this? Remember the original CNN Plus announcement. They're going to add stuff online, but none of the stuff that's actually valuable from CNN, aka live news programming during breaking events. Why? Because CNN, NBC, Fox, and others are currently embroiled in multi-billion-dollar deals with cable news carriers who have exclusive rights to their live programming for breaking news. Meaning that when CNN or NBC News say they're going to be offering something live online, it's not the cool live programming. It's their live news panels or live commentary. And in that case, I think we could safely say, go ahead and bring it on. The reason that Breaking Points and many other independent news organizations have succeeded in recent years is because we can compete on a relatively level playing field. In the world of commentary and presentation, aggregation, and in domestic news consumption and gathering, that's a relatively low marginal cost business, meaning that the market determines who wins and loses. Cable news, though, by definition, is a rigged market. There are only 3 major channels, but the internet is endless. And in the world of endless options, who is going to pick a Chris Wallace to listen to or a Casey Hunt? Whomever this Joshua Johnson guy? No. In our world, you actually have to be attuned not only to what people want, but what they actually care about. For years, the inane and terrible cable news commentary has been subsidized by live news. People like to be able to switch on the TV and watch crazy stuff like 9/11 or riots or January 6th or COVID. The problem is that doesn't happen that often. So they fill the in-between parts with Joanne Reed or Chris Cuomo or any of the other terrible blather that has ruined our country's political discourse. For years, they have benefited from a rigged game. And streaming is the unspooling of it all. Attention at the end of the day is zero-sum. You either listen to someone or you don't. And in this world, they're about to have a very rude awakening. But I don't want to take too much of a rosy picture and sugarcoat it. The battle is really just beginning, because this fight will be just like the one for the internet. The internet started out as a free and prosperous place, a democratization of information that enables the little to fight against the small. The internet of 2006 was the birthplace of the anti-war movement and voices that sprang forward in response to the dominant media ecosystem. But slowly over time, corporations realized the power of the internet. They decided to exert pressure on the tech companies to seize control of all discourse, to rig the platforms in favor of the established players. This same war is coming to our space right now with streaming news. The same war is going to happen. First they ignored us, then they will become just as big as them. Now they're entering the space. Right now on YouTube, you see them already getting preferential treatment. They will try to do the same thing with streaming news, rigging podcast platforms and elsewhere to recommend their content over ours and many others of our friends in this space. Soon the drive to outright censor will materialize under the guise that because more people watch us than them, they need to fact check or control the quality of information. These dying suns are not going to go quietly into the night. And the more that they enter our sphere and realize how many of us despise them, the more vicious the battle for the future actually will be. The first version and promise of the internet was lost. But I do still have some hope in all of you. A business can only be fake for so long before real people's preferences ultimately have to be taken into account. And as fake as the world has been, the internet has still pushed us towards a place for consumer preference. All of this is just to say that we have to fight. What gives me life is the idea that people are actually starting to wake up and are done with the fake newsmongers over on cable news. But let's just make sure that they die with the medium instead of trying to take over ours and the new frontier. That was the thing, Crystal, as I was struck by the Chris Wallace thing, is at first, you make fun of it and all of that, but I realized...
Hey guys, thanks so much for watching.
That's right. Just as a reminder, you can become a premium subscriber today. Watch the full show completely uncut, our reactions to each other's monologues. You get to listen to it, you get to ask us questions, all that good stuff. Link is right there in the description or at breakingpoints.com.
Best of all, great way to say screw you to the mainstream media.